A warm greetings to all the CAT aspirants over there. This is Dr. Hemanth. I'm the Director for Center for Teaching and Learning at AIMS Institute, Pinya, Bengaluru. I'm associated with AIMS Institutes for the past couple of years. Joined here as the Dean for the School of Business, Commerce and Finance. Keeping in mind my passion for academics and the learner analytics, I've moved on to take over the Center for Teaching and Learning, where we continuously improve the student experience in learning. The golden rule for your examination day, is to stay calm. Protect your focus. Your focus should only be on the examination and nothing beyond the examination. There are every chances that you actually are going to be distracted, you're going to be thinking about a lot of things. There are too many things that will be going on in your mind. However, your focus, your priority is only on the examination and nothing else. Keep calm, stay calm, breathe and breathe. Drop your shoulder, relax, and nothing more that actually is needed. Because the CAT exam is not going to test how knowledgeable you are. It tests how quickly you will be able to decide on which questions to answer and which questions not to answer. So that is going to decide the thin line between 95 percentilers and the 99 percentilers. So that is the golden word. You can take it from us in the last minute preparation for the CAT. The first 10 minutes of your examination is very important. It is very critical. That will decide whether you win or you will lose. Because our mind is programmed in such a way that when you begin well for the first 10 minutes, it gives you that confidence, that I'm winning. And that actually will help you maintain the consistency throughout your examination. Decide on what not to attempt, what not to answer. You take those first 10 minutes and then take a call. That is going to help you decide where I'm spending more time. Be confident, answer those questions which actually you are very confident on. You don't have to think much, you don't have to guess anything, you don't have to work much, and then keep the rest for the later time. So the first 10 minutes is very, very vital when you enter your examination and start attempting to mark the questions, mark the answers for your questions. The first 5 questions that you actually answer will change the entire momentum of your next 120 minutes. Because you get into that mode of confidence. You will be very high on your confidence, and it will actually help you to attempt more and more confidence-based questions. Now you see some question, you are very confident about it, you answer them. You start answering, you come across something that you think that you need some time to think on that. You will leave that so that you can come back to that later. So the most underrated strategy most of the students will fail to practice is to build the momentum. Your first 5 questions, whatever you answer, not necessarily they be in the same order. One can be question number 1, another can be question number 20, another can be question number 8. It doesn't really matter. But the first 5 questions you answer will give you that confidence, will build the momentum for you for the rest of the duration of your examination to perform really well. That is going to decide your percentile. There is this tendency among the students who actually change their strategy in the last minute. Never do that. The last minute strategies will never work. Do not try to reinvent the wheel at the nth minute. It so happens you have been practicing, you have been having a strategy for a long time, and you've been working on that for weeks together. So the last minute changes to your strategy is going to hamper. It is going to hamper, the time you take for attempting the answers, the time it takes, for deciding what to answer, what not to answer, the time it actually takes, for your guesswork, everything. So do not try to change the strategy at the nth minute. Stability is the key. You have been working on your strategy for quite a long time. Do not try to change it at the nth minute. A 30-second rule. Use a 30-second rule. The first 30 seconds after you read the question, if you feel you are not able to answer that question or you are not sure what the answer is, that is where you need to skip that question and move on to the next one. Usually what happens here, if you don't get that answer in 30 seconds, there are chances that you will move on to guess game. And then it also so happens that you might probably be spending more amount of time on that question which you are not sure about. So that first 30 seconds is very critical the minute you see the question. Beware, 30 seconds rule. Practice it. You need to treat the CAT exam like a strategy game. You need to choose your battles wisely. You need to keep your emotions stable. You need to manage your cognitive energy. Many a times it so happens that your calm mind will solve those problems which your anxious mind will not even recognize them as the problems. So be very careful with your emotional stability. Your mind should not wander here and there. It should be focused. That's the main thing that you need to actually look at this point of time. Readiness is not about knowing everything. It is about knowing what you will be able to do when you don't know something. Keep that in mind, that is really very important for you. Never ever think, I'm not ready. You should know what you will be able to do or what you are capable of doing when you don't know something over there. Whether you want to leave, whether you want to think, whether you want to analyze, whether you want to interpret in a different way, whether you want to perceive the question or look at it from a multiple perspective, you need to do that. So it is all about knowing what to do when you don't know something. That is the readiness. Talking about the selection process at AIMS Institutes, as the name suggests, it is the selection process. We are trying to understand how to select you and not how to reject you. We want to explore the positives that you have and also understand the negatives that you have so that we can work on that. At the end of the day, we are all human beings and we all have positives as well as negatives. Positives, we will use it to improve. Negatives, we will actually try and ensure they become your positives too. At the end of the day, some might be lacking in communication skills, some in leadership skills. However, we are here at AIMS Institutes, the entire team of faculty at the School of Business, to ensure you gain that knowledge, you gain those skills, you acquire those skills, you build that attitude. At the end of the day, what is it that corporates demand? Or for that matter, when you want to build your own business, what is it that the market demands, your customers demand, right? So that is the mindset, that is the attitude. So that is where the AIMS Institutes comes into the picture even during the selection process. We look at your positives so that we know this is where we can put a lot of effort so that you can convert those negatives that you have into your positives. Many a times it so happens, I'm a very talkative person. That is my negative attitude. However, that is going to actually be a positive attitude when you get into the right place, when you get into the right job, or when you do the right business. And that is the focus the AIMS Institutes will have during the selection process. At the end of the day, it is you that matters to us. It is the students who actually matter to this teacher. Without the students, there are no teachers. And when we tell you something, okay, now this is where you need to improve, or you're good in this is where you can actually better yourself, or this is what you need to focus more on so that there are people out there to look at you. You become a role model over a period of time for a lot of people. So you need to be sure of what kind of a brand that you're building for yourself. This is what we at AIMS look at the prospective students who wish to enroll themselves in our MBA program. To all those CAT aspirants out there, when you go to the examination room, walk in with the examination in mind and walk out with pride. So here at AIMS Institutes, we welcome you all to explore what AIMS Institutes has got to offer to all of you. Looking forward to meet you in person at AIMS Institutes.